Hey guys, it's me Jeremy, and this is my review for Olympus Has Fallen. So right off the bat, from what I had heard from critics, it was the Die Hard movie that we should have had back in February. And if you guys have seen that review, you would understand my frustration, my hate, my absolute, complete and utter anger of how bad that movie was. So anyone that was saying something like that for this movie, I completely down for seeing it. So Olympus Has Fallen is an interesting idea. Not so much as interesting, it's just the way of how it's carried out. An attack is placed on the White House by North Korean paramilitary forces. They get in, they kill all the Secret Service people, and they kidnap the president. Gerard Butler gets into the building during this huge and massive gunfight that takes place during the attack, and in the end he becomes the only person alive inside the White House. Banner was a previous Secret Service agent, but there's this car accident at the beginning and there's this kind of rough edge. It's kind of odd. So the first thing I had to see when I watched this movie was how much like Die Hard was it. It was so much like Die Hard, I almost was expecting Gerard Butler to say yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. It was really, really close. You have a villain who has kind of two intentions. Sure, one of them is not money, but kind of has two intentions. You have a guy who's get put into a situation, into a building, and he's kind of just walking around trying to, like, having encounters, trying to get the upper edge on the bad guys. There's a situation with helicopters on top of the building, and the guy knows something that the other people don't. There's additional forces outside of Banner's control that are just being complete dicks, and they won't listen to him. I wouldn't say that the president is his wife. Like, for John McClane, Holly was his main focus of rescue. But the president and Gerard Butler's character Banner have a close connection. So that's kind of his wife figure in this movie. In comparison to how good it is, it's not as good as Die Hard. Hell no. But it tries. Like, I really like Antoine Fuqua's films. I like Training Day. I like King Arthur. I know King Arthur's a bad movie, but I think he did a really good job of directing and choreographing the fight scenes with the cameras and whatnot. The film, it has a very simple structure in essence of it. The only thing that is possibly complicated is what is carried out by the North Koreans in their attempt to attack the White House. It's kind of an elaborate plan. It's almost, you could almost believe it, you know, if you just get past the fact that this plane, the AC-10 gun, the AC-130 gunship that comes in at the very, like, that starts the attack. If you can just believe that the Americans wouldn't bother to get jets on it until it was within 10 minutes of the White House, then you could believe it. So you gotta kind of just put yourself in a little bit of disbelief, which unfortunately is the complete difference between Olympus Has Fallen and Die Hard. Die Hard, you could believe it. You could see its believability. There was realism in it. It didn't push the boundaries. If it did push the boundaries, it pushed them just to the limit where you could believe it still, where it was still in a realm of that could happen. That's what Die Hard was. Olympus Has Fallen, you really couldn't believe half of it. There's moments like not only this attack, like the attack is for the most part believable, but there are some parts where you have to kind of stretch your imagination. I would say that there are plot conveniences. There's this whole thing going on with these codes, and you know, it's a real big, it's like, oh, how are they gonna do it, how are they gonna get this last code, and then all of a sudden it just kind of appears, and it's like, wait, what? Huh? Wait, how'd that happen? And then the characters get to places where they really shouldn't be able to get to, but it's not explained. So I'd say about the last 20 minutes of the film was kind of a wrap up, and it's unfortunate because I actually thought this film would have been better if it had been longer. I thought there would have been a little bit more characters established, as well as yeah, just more explanation on the plot devices. Olympus Has Fallen is good. It's got some great fight scenes. It's got some great gun battles. The lighting is a bit bad. I found it funny when IGN said that it looked like it was lit by an iPod, and I can understand that. It did look quite dark, a lot of the movie. But I thought Antoine Fuqua did a really good job of silhouettes and the brutality. Like, Banner's character extremely brutal person. The CGI sucked balls. It looked like they spent about, I don't know, 10 minutes on that plane, and then how it just goes. If you really like action movies, I would recommend this. I would recommend it to my friends. But if you're looking for a little bit more deeper than that, I would say it's a whole lot of meh. So I don't know. I'm gonna decide, since I like this a lot more than Die Hard, I'm gonna say I would recommend this to my friends with a guilty pleasure inside it. So yeah, I'm interested to see what Channing Tatum's White House movie is, because that movie called White House Down, they're attacked by paramilitary forces, which I looked it up and it looked like the Russians. So we had North Koreans in this movie, they were gonna get Russians in the next one. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Hopefully get to do some more soon. Anyway, that's all from me, guys. See you later.